Guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on today and do another Shop My Stash. Again, y'all seem to really like these. Super early in the morning. I had to get ready for a meeting this afternoon anyways, or this morning really. And I thought I would pop on and do a little Shop My Stash and also just talk about this no-buy that I'm doing, because when I mentioned doing the no-buy, a lot of people were like, oh, I need to do this with you, or oh, I've been doing this and it's awesome, or oh, I couldn't do that. And you know, to each their own. I totally understand it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but I have noticed that it has gotten a lot easier with time. So I am going to kind of chit chat about that a little bit too. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull my hair back and we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, I have my brows done and my eyes primed. So I'm just going to prime. And today I'm going to use the Color Science Bronzing Perfector. So I usually use the Brightening Perfector, I think it's called. How do I not know that? It's like my favorite primer. But this one is an SPF 20 and it's water resistant for 40 minutes. So even if you, I mean, really you need more than an SPF 20 if you're just wearing this. But it's still, one of the reasons I like it is that it's got this bronze color to it. So it's really nice if I want to just tan up my face a little bit, because it stays super pale throughout the year. So I'm just going to rub that in. And then the next couple steps are going to be color correcting with my Jane Iredale. And today my base product is going to be the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer in Illuminating. So I'm going to use that too. I use the color 2-in-1 Natural Radiance. So a couple things that I am realizing on this no-buy. One thing that comes to mind first is that if I need it, I already have it. There is nothing in the makeup world, truly, that I don't have. Now, I'm not saying I have every version of every product, but what I mean is if I need a gold shimmery eyeshadow palette for a look, I've got it. If I need a warm luminous foundation, I've got it. If I need a cool matte tinted moisturizer, I have it. I just have it. I don't think there is anything that if I got to a point that I needed it, and when I say need, I say it very loosely because we are talking about makeup here. None of us need a single bit of makeup. We could live and survive with a fresh face every day. So I'm not saying, that kind of need. But if I was wanting to do a look with a certain product, I mean, chances are I have it. I have not had an issue yet. Let's say that. And not to mention, even if I didn't, which I do, I think that a no-buy and kind of like a declutter really spurs the creativity in us all, because we're forced to think of what can we do different with what we have. Sometimes we get stuck in ruts with makeup. I mean, lots of times. I know that every time I have like a makeup lesson, I talk to my client, and I'm like, so what have you been doing with your makeup? And honestly, they haven't changed anything, this fan, y'all, my hair, in years. I mean, they get in a comfortable, I don't even want to say it's a rut, it's a comfort zone in makeup. And even when we have large collections, like a lot of us do, we get in comfort zones too. So we either don't use certain things, or we do the same thing with lots of different items. Case in point, I have an eyeshadow palette that I could probably do 30 different looks out of. Yet I reach for it and I do the same 2 looks over and over again. So not constantly having like new things coming in all the time helps me think, okay, I don't want to do the same look I've been doing out of this palette. Let's try something new. And it spurs on my creativity and it helps me think of new things to do. It's been nice. So if I need it, I have it. And I'm a little bit more creative with the things that I do have. Let's go into concealer. I'm going to use the Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar concealer. This comes with an applicator like this. And I just put a little tiny bit. You don't need much of this at all. This is in the color 3.5 Sand. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this with my finger and then blend it out with my sponge. And then because I just use a tinted moisturizer, sometimes there's some areas like on my nose. My chin's actually pretty good today, but I'll put a little bit on there that I just want a little extra coverage. So, and we're going to get some coverage from our powder too. So we're going to work on our eyes, and I'm going to do a really simple look using the Suspicion palette because a lot of y'all have asked for that. I know I did a look with the Body Heat palette that I absolutely love. This is more of the warm palette. And, you know, yes, there are multiple different looks that you can do with this palette, but it does end at a certain place. It's a quad. They're all shimmers. You know, you can't get a ton of different looks. Like, you're not going to be able to get 25 looks out of this palette. So it's not going to be this, oh my goodness, I never thought to do that, but it's how I like to use it. So because these are all that like satin wet dry formula, I'm going to go in with the bronzer that we're going to use, which is MAC Give Me Sun. And I'm going to take it on a fluffy brush and use that as my crease color. So what else have I learned from this no-buy? I've learned that I personally think, now I think we all think this of ourselves, which is totally fine. It's not a vain thing to say. I personally think that I have decent taste in makeup. I don't go out and buy really awful products that I have no intention of using. I don't think any of us do. I mean, money is money, and it's like going out and buying outfits you know you'll never wear. Now, I'm not saying that we don't buy outfits that we don't end up wearing, but outfits that we know we'll never wear. So I've learned that I need to trust my taste a little bit more and realize that, hey, I bought this because I liked it, because I thought I could get good use out of it. Maybe I should actually trust myself and get good use out of it instead of always trying to find the next best thing. And I think that's just the consumer community in general with makeup. And I understand that because I am guilty of it tenfold. But sometimes I just need to stop and think, hey, maybe I have found the best thing. Like after I did my top 5 foundation videos, I'm going to go in with this color right here. I sat there and thought, I mean, these are really good foundations. They work really well for me. I have no issues with them, or they wouldn't have made it into my top 5. Why do I keep thinking there is something so much better out there? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to stop buying foundations. Do not get me wrong. They're my favorite thing in makeup. But I don't understand where the need comes from. You know, I don't understand where, because all of us do it. We're like, oh, well, we want to try this because maybe it'll be better. Maybe this one concealer that came out that's $55, it's going to beat all the other concealers that I've found in my life that I absolutely love, that I know work for me, that I know don't crease, that I know look good. Just maybe. And so then you go out and buy them and you use them and you forget about all the ones you loved. And that's what I'm learning. I'm going to go in with this little bit of a lighter gold color. I know it sounds like I'm bashing consumers or consumerism in general, and truly I'm not. I mean, I am a consumer. Obviously, I'm not going to stop being a consumer. I'm not going on a no-buy for the rest of my life. These are just things that I have learned being on this no-buy. But if you watch my video where I announced I was doing it, I'm stopping the no-buy at the Nordstrom anniversary sale. But another thing that I have learned through it is that I just got my catalog yesterday for the Nordstrom anniversary sale. Now, I know that catalog does not have everything that's going to be at the sale by any means. Like, it's just a very small sampling. Totally aware. But the 2 or 3 pages in it that had makeup, nothing stood out to me. I was like, yeah, no. I mean, I know I'm going to get some of the Tom Ford stuff. That wasn't in the catalog. But before, I feel like I would have been like, oh yeah, let's try this, or let's try this, or that, or that, and I just wasn't. I was like, yeah, I can do without. I've done without. That's good. I like what I've got. So it's just making me more aware. I'm going to go in with this darkest color on a Sephora Pro 18 and just smudge a little bit on my lash line. This is going to be one of those like really, oh, I just lost an eyelash. Oh, rest in peace. I hate that. This isn't going to be like a true liner. This is a color that you could like smoke out another liner with, but I did a true like winged liner look on my other channel yesterday. So I'm like, I need to take a break of like real intense liners because y'all know that's not my jam. I did like that look. I really did. And I got a lot of compliments on it when I was out and about yesterday, but it's just a little out of my comfort zone. But if you want to see it, a lot of people, I just had somebody subscribed over there and comment and say they didn't even know I had it. I have all the information listed in my description box, and I know a lot of times people don't read that, and that's fine. I mean, we're all busy. But it's down there if you're interested in it. It's a clean beauty channel. And again, I really like the look I did yesterday. So this is just kind of smudging a little bit of color on that lash line. A little bit of dimension. I'm going to go back to my face, and I'm going to go and make sure there's no creases under my eyes, which there always is, right up there in the fine line territory. I had to get it. I'm going to set with my Hourglass powder, per usual. And everybody always asks me about this brush too. I don't think you can get this anymore. It is a Sephora Pro number 10 crease brush. However, the past few times that I have purchased one, they have like randomly brought them back in stock. So keep a lookout on them. They are the best for setting under the eyes and on the eyelids. The last time they came back available, I bought 6 of them because I have different sets of brushes within my kit and I want one in every set. Now for powder, I'm going to go into my Jane Iredale powder. What is this called? I don't know. This is one of those testers they sent me, but it is their pressed powder foundation. And because I used a tinted moisturizer, I can use a little bit. I don't have to have it, but I can stand a little bit more coverage now. I would not use this with even a medium coverage foundation, wouldn't do it. But this is the color Golden Glow. I have given this lots and lots of love. I'm going to use the Jane Iredale handy brush with it. And truly, as much as I hate to say it, especially as I'm talking about you don't need this, no buys, I truly think you need this brush if you're going to use this foundation. Nothing else that I have, and I've already told you I have a lot, works with it. So, as well, let me put it that way. So I'm just going to take, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I always go in with my La Mer brush or something big and fluffy and do a very light dusting of it first so that it's not sticky on my face because I am going to be buffing. There we go. And if I went in directly and buffed onto that tacky tinted moisturizer, it would pull the tinted moisturizer off of my face. So now we can go in and buff this powder in. You can also stipple it if you wanted to. But I love this stuff. I have done a whole video on that and some other products that I will reach for when I want my most flawless face. Like when I don't want a single flaw to stand out, this is one of the products I use. So just keep going over. You don't need to go overboard with it. Just make sure it's even and it has set. Now this is a mineral powder, so it is not going to have a super matte finish. You will have that sheen at the end of application, but it's not a luminous sheen. It's almost just like a natural, look at how good my skin looks sheen. All right, let me tell you what I'm using on the rest of my face, and then we'll talk about the third thing that I've learned. I'm going to use, again, the MAC Give Me Sun Bronzer. I'm using the Lancome Dual Finish Highlighter in Sparkling Pesh, which I love. Love, love, love. And I'm using the Becca Luminous Blush in Tiger Lily, which looks super scary in the pan, but I promise it's really pretty. So another thing that I have learned from this no-buy, and really I knew this already. It didn't take this no-buy for me to recognize this. That new makeup is only truly satisfying for a very short amount of time. Like, you know, you make that purchase online and you're like, oh, I can't wait to try this. I'm so excited. And you like check your tracking and you make sure it's coming and you just count down the days and you wake up and you're like, oh, it's coming today. Blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, we're not all like that, but you know what I mean. We anticipate it if it's something we really want. We just anticipate it in different ways. And then it gets here and we open it and we're like, oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I can't wait to use it. You set it out, you use it the next morning, and you're like, oh, I really love it. And then the next day, you get up and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try something else. Or yeah, I really like it. I'll do it one more time. And then it just fizzles out. Like it's not as satisfying, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna get next? because you want that like high of getting something new all the time. And it's like, why do you want the high? It's not the high of the actual product. It's the high of getting something new. That's what I've learned. And so not having the high of getting new products within this no buy has almost given me a high of like trying out things I already have. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to use this. I haven't used this in so long. This is going to be so much fun. That's where my high comes from. And, oh, I'm going to have to buff that. I don't know. It's just not as, I mean, truly, like the past few products that I got, like at the very end, like right before, well, actually they came after my no buy started because I purchased them right before I started. Truly, I've used them both twice. There has been one thing that will show up in my favorites. I don't know when this video is going up. You may have already seen it. That I'm still like on a high about. But other than that, I'm just like, eh. Like, is it really worth spending all this money just to go, meh? I don't know. I don't know that it is. And that's what I'm learning. Now, y'all have to tell me. I am not alone in this. I know I'm not alone. It's just a matter of like admitting it to yourself that it's just not needed. And it doesn't last. It's not as fun for as long as we anticipate it being when we hit place order. So I feel like the anticipation and the high is going to last a lot longer for me at the Nordstrom anniversary sale because I have waited 6 or 7 weeks. This is the Hourglass powder. To make any kind of purchase, makeup related, and I'm truly anticipating this longer than Trend Mood posted it. It just launched. I'm gonna buy it. You know, like it's not like a 30-second decision. I'm anticipating this sale for weeks at a time, so I feel like I'm gonna appreciate that haul a little bit more than my typical ones. Oh, my under eyes have seen better days lately. They have been so crinkly. And I know it's not any of my products I'm using because I love those. I think it's just a phase. Please let it just be a phase. Now, not because this is the Jane Iredale Powder Foundation, but because I love this, I'm going to use the Palm Mist Hydration Spray to kind of set everything in. Now, because it is Jane Iredale, it does work really fabulously with this powder foundation to kind of just melt it into the skin. But I use it with every powder and every foundation. I'm going to go back into the Give Me Sun and just buff a little bit under my eye. I have another eyelash. Man. You know what? My under eyes have been really dark lately too, and that doesn't help either. We got back from a mission trip in New Orleans. And I mean, I got plenty of sleep. I'm not saying that, but I don't know if it was I don't know what it was. Just me not eating like I normally do, or what, but it's super dark. So I'm taking that down pretty far so it looks like it's a shadow and not my under eyes. I'm going to go back into the Tom Ford palette and pick up a little bit of this lightest color. So we have used every color in the palette. And I'm just going to use that to highlight my inner corner. This is another Sephora Pro 18, but it's a separate one. Like I'm not using the same one I used with that dark product on it. A little bit on my brow bone. Now I'm going to do my lashes off camera. Per usual, I'll be back to do the lips. All right, lashes are on. I feel like that really brings the look together. And now we're going to do lips. Really simple lips. This is the new Persona gloss. They came out with some glosses. They were nice enough to send them over. This is in the color Peach. So I just feel like it will go nice with the color scheme I have going on my eyes. Oh my goodness. My stomach is growling. I need to go downstairs and eat breakfast. So just like anything with Persona Cosmetics, honestly, I have not tried a single thing that I do not love from them. This is fabulous. I love the color. It is an opaque gloss, which I'm all about because very often do I wear a gloss by itself. So I like for it to have a little bit of color, but it's still high shine. It's comfortable. It's really pretty. It's very easy. Love it. Love it. Love it. Let's just take the hair down. This is like day 4, y'all. It was nice and curly yesterday, but that, you know, being Mandy's hair fell out by the end of the night. And it's just got a pound of dry shampoo in it now. So Anyways, this is the final look. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, shopping my stash, and listening to all the good little tidbits that I've learned throughout my no-buy. Do not worry, I am not going to be on a no-buy forever, but I have actually really been enjoying it. It's not near as hard as I thought. And with the literal hundreds of dollars that I throw away, I mean, I threw away a stack of foundations the week that I started this no-buy that was probably $400 in total, and I had not even gotten halfway through any of them. I'm like, I am literally throwing money in the trash. I need to take a hold. Take a hold. So I'm enjoying my hold, and hopefully this gave y'all a little bit of, I don't know, incentive or at least insight into what I've been doing. So again, thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope y'all all go out and have a very blessed day.